All right, here's our empowerment coaching for parents. How to Raise Drug-Free Kids, brought to you by and hosted by Susan Blauner, Director of Operations for the Saving Lives Drug and Alcohol Coalition. Hey, Susan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what are some of the first steps for parents to empower themselves with their children?
Today we're going to talk about being a good role model, because it is imperative that parents understand that what they do and how they are perceived by their children is a cause and effect with how their kids are going to handle themselves out in the world. One of the first things they see is, how their parents come home at night, and are they spending time with their kids? How they come in the front door? Are they grumpy, and is the first thing they do reaching for a cocktail? So we have to make sure that the parents see themselves as a very good role model and make sure that they are working together if it's a dual household.
So they can't get away with replying, do as I say, not as I do.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely not. You can't do that, because kids will do as they do, and you have to make sure that as you're walking in the front door and behaving as you do in the evenings with your kids, that they are seeing you focusing on them and not focusing on other kinds of things.
So being a good role model is really super important.
Very important. What we need to do is make sure that parents are not sending their kids to the refrigerator, things like that, to pick up a beer, or
go get me a beer.
Go get me a beer. Go get me a drink. Go get me. Hey, can you go get my cigarettes upstairs? Because everything that parents are handling, whether they're smoking or whether they're drinking, or whether they are constantly running to the medicine cabinet to. I'm not feeling well, let me go get a Valium. I'm not feeling well, let me go get, some kind of other prescriptive medications. But they see that as they're watching their mothers and fathers, they see that the parents are handling things as they should be handled, to each issue that comes up without some kind of a chemical substance or drinking alcoholic substance to get through the day.
When I was a kid, I heard a lot of parents, my friends telling me their parents said, if you're going to smoke a joint, do it in the house. If you're going to have a drink, do it in the house. If you're going to smoke a cigarette, do it in the house. Don't do it out in public. Is that, does your coalition stand behind that?
No.
No?
No. What we want is them not drinking at all and not smoking pot at all and not smoking at all, because just yesterday we did a teen leadership group, and we had the teens, about 35, 40 teens sitting in a room learning all the situations about what cigarette smoking does to you, what pot smoking does to you, what alcohol abuse does to you, and the drinking. And you can't imagine the questions that came out of the teens, and they're asking very detailed questions.
What kind of questions did come out of the teens?
They want to know, what is it, we hear marijuana's not so bad, and it's okay, and, we heard our father did it way back when in the 60s. And that's another thing that I want to bring up as part of being a role model, is we don't want to make jokes about what we did or bring up scenarios and make it a laughing matter. Oh, yeah, I did pot in the 60s and all this other kind of thing. Because what the parents are doing is saying, yeah, it's okay, it's not so bad. But again, as we've spoken in the past, the pot today is 27%
it's so much more powerful,
stronger, the THC content. So, no, we don't want to give our kids the idea that smoking is good, drinking is good, pot is good, or any of that, and say it's okay, just do it in the house. We're doing brain damage to our kids. The synapses in the brain are not, the growing brain of our teenagers do not come into full play until they're between 20 and 23 years old. So if you understand the long-term effects and the short-term effects of both pot smoking and drinking, parents would be horrified, which they are in the seminars that we give, to understand the exact damage that they're doing. So saying, I'll have a party in the house, I'll take away the keys, and the kids can just drink here, they'll be safe because no one's driving anywhere. They won't be, because number one, you're saying, I'm not being a good role model. You're encouraging something. Number two, it can become addictive. And in many children and teenagers, it does become addictive, which then goes on to having issues with the brain.
Not the large majority of children get addicted, but it does happen.
Does happen.
It's enough kids. I mean, if it was only one kid, that'd be too much. But there is a percentage of the people on the planet today, and is even in the youth segment, that are going to lose it. They get that allergy, the body going, and it's over.
And it's over. No matter what, we don't want to have any kind of damage that is done to our kids in any way, shape, or form. So the parents have to be the role models. In other words, they have to say that, okay, if we have alcohol in the house, which most families, do, many families do, then they're showing their kids that it's done respectfully and in the right time and place only for individuals over 21 years of age, so that they're abiding by the law. That shows their kids they're being a good role model to be law-abiding citizens. And number two, they're not giving their kids any kind of a substance that is against the law in that respect. So all parents have to be role models in every way, shape, or form. Just like a father who's out there teaching soccer to his kids, or out there on the football field with his sons, or the mothers are out there, and the kids are in swim meets. These kids are growing up in a healthy environment, and they're not doing drugs and alcohol because they're moving forward with their lives. It's very sad to see what happens to the kids who have gotten involved, and then in later years they wake up one day and go, well, how did I get here? How did I become an alcoholic? How did I become a drug addict? So when parents show kids that they are locking their pharmaceuticals, locking their alcohol away, and having barbecues with their kids, having events with their kids, going and doing things together with them where alcohol is not used, and showing them that as being a good role model, that they are having fun activities without any substances of any kind.
Now, you've got a Navigating the Teens Year booklet, don't you?
Yes, I do. I have this booklet called Navigating the Teenage Years.
Oh, that's beautiful. Navigating the Teenage Years.
Right. This is from the Office of National Drug Control Policy, and you can receive this booklet through our organization, Saving Lives Coalition, www.savinglivescoalition.org.
Saving Lives, plural, savinglivescoalition.org. Savinglivescoalition.org.
Right. And if you contact our coalition, we will be happy to mail this out to you free of charge. It's called Navigating the Teen Years, a parent's handbook, and it has step-by-step information for parents. If you want to have it on hand, we're more than happy to send it out to you free of charge.
If the parents are having an issue with alcohol or drugs, they should contact you. But at the same time, if they have children that are having a problem with alcohol and drugs, they need some intervention of some kind,
they can still contact us, and we'll be happy to give them some referrals. We work with many different organizations throughout Los Angeles, specifically also in the San Fernando Valley, where we can help them get the help that they need. And that's what we're here for. Saving Lives Coalition is here to do environmental changes here within the San Fernando Valley, to help families, to help the public, to educate, to bring it out in the media, as we're doing here on Cool Change Radio.
Right.
And to make sure that people have an awareness. We're going to be doing a major awareness campaign in this regard.
Just be aware, I want them to know, the listeners out there, that alcohol and drugs, for the percentage of people that are going to be afflicted by that, it's going to become a real issue in their life. Once they start doing it on a consecutive basis, their natural coping mechanisms, their natural ability to cope with feelings and emotions ceases to mature.
100%.
So when they're happy, sad, excited, depressed, or angry, in hate, love, or in fear, they reach for something on the outside to fix their insides. So they really stop growing up emotionally.
That's right. That's exactly what happens.
That's exactly what it is, and so that's why it's so tough to let go of your coping mechanism, your drugs, your alcohol, your acting out, because you have to deal with life then.
Yes, and sometimes, but when the parents show that they are role models dealing with life in a proper way, in a healthy way, then they will not show their kids that they are dealing with it in an unhealthy way, and that's being a good role model.
That's fantastic. What would you like to tell the audience in the last 30 seconds here?
I'd like to tell the audience that, again, communicate with your kids, be there for your kids, know that what you need to do for your kids is let them know that you're there for them, listening to them. That's what the kids of today are looking for. They're not looking for parents who are out there running around. They're looking for parents who will be there for them and with them. And then that way you'll grow a healthy children into healthy adults.
Oh, that's wonderful, Susan. It's savinglivescoalition.org, www.savinglives, plural, savinglivescoalition.org. I'll see you next Monday, okay?
Thank you.
This has been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Susan Blauner, what a great thing taking care of the kids. Again, I'd like to give a great big thanks to Fred Siegel and our friends from around the globe for supporting our charity, the Cool Change Foundation. You too can help the foundation, help the mom, dads, and kids in your community. You can do that right now. Go to our website, www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Every penny counts, no donations ever too small. Go do it right now. I'd like to thank people to make this show happen. Our fantastic engineer is Rob Gainey, author of Rockin' Your Stage Sound, available in bookstores now. Our fitness expert, Paul Medrano, will be back with us tomorrow. The show's assistant producer is Taylor Hoskins. What a great guy. The show is produced by Bradley Quick Productions, has been made possible by Fred Siegel. YouTube, Google, BuzzBros, The Salvation Army, Universal Studios, Milestones Ranch Malibu, Tim Allen, Marilyn Toth, and many others, including the Cool Change Foundation. And remember, it's time for Cool Change with the Cool Change Foundation. And think about the actions you're taking, because every action you're taking is having an impact on somebody, even if it's just an example to your kids. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.